There's something I found it about cultures and about people in general, about how they relate. You know, we really do live in a projective society. It's like going to a movie in the olden times. I mean, now I'm sure it's still the same. They probably have more sophisticated equipment, but back when I used to go to movies, they have a projector with a reel on it, and it was negatives right on the reel, and the light shone through it, and it was able to project itself onto a big screen. Everyone came with a popcorn and blah blah blah, and it was the show, right? Within that movie, there was always the stars, the actors, the co-stars, the actresses, the people who wrote the script, and the audience, right? And this is the same the way it plays out in life in general. Is that people do like to be like they're in the movies, except for one thing: they are the projector. People are consistently putting stuff on other people without even realize they're doing it. But the fact that they're doing it, if you're the kind of person that you don't like doing that, you could see through the fallacy and the stupidity of being a projector. See, the more happy you are within, and like my theme and through my videos is about the bit about really having you're cultured, you're refined, you have I'm sorry, it was a call coming in. You have a certain level of uh, higherness to you, right? And you're not given to basically trying to put your stuff on other people, because it's a very selfish move. And the one thing I've discovered is about, especially with cultures who don't really, they only grow so far, is getting back to, you heard of the crab mentality, right? As the crabs are all in the bucket, and the only way the crabs really basically are able to stay in the bucket is the other ones come and pull them down, or her down, or whatever, the other crabs. Your identity and your identifier is really so correlated, so matched up to where you're born from. Now, where you're going is a totally different story. So many people live and then they die. They live within a context of their identity, what they have been put upon them, and this is the way they live for the rest of their life, right? Boom, right? Some people snap out of it, and they get out of it. They snap out. Crabs snap out, right? And they tell the crabs, get down, get out of the bucket. That's it. So we're all out there. Don't grab me, man. Leave me alone. I've discovered in my personal experiences that if I'm in an environment of someone who's of from what I was born from, not that I don't belong to that culture. I'm simply just a human individual living on the earth, right? I don't care what my skin color says or whatever. I know what I am in the inside, and people, nations, and societies that have grown away from some societies and nations are much more advanced than others, probably because of this, because they believe in advancement, right? They don't advance on each other, they believe in advancement, right? They still have a long way to go. I mean, there's still traditions and crazy things they do that would make them still be considered still on the lower spectrum, right? But the thing is that one thing I discovered, that cultures that stay within the context of how they look upon each other, is that it's quite abusive in a lot of ways, because what they do is they put their assumptions of the form that they believe that you are. And it took me a while, because I used to get pretty upset about it, but it took me a while to really kind of make peace with it and go, aha, right? So when I go, aha, the shields go up, and I'm kind of like, I just laugh it off. It's like water off a duck's back, right? But it took me a long time to really get over it, because it's abusive in a lot of ways, and it's quite aggressive. It's counterproductive. Now, as Jesus says, forgive them for they do not know what they do. The majority of times, people really don't know what they're doing. They just in automatic zone. They just do it. But the fact that they're doing it doesn't give how can I put it, doesn't give you the allowance and even give you the right to accept it. See, there's this bigger, huge cosmic right, which is the living God and his love for us. And that he removes that right from you. And I want you to take this in for a second. He doesn't give you the right to abuse. He doesn't say it's okay to be abused. So it's not a right, right? Don't let anyone tell you it's a right to be abused. It's never right to be pooped on or projected on, or somebody sending information your way and you kind of woo, and you gotta get brush it off and throw it off you, right? And I've seen animals do that too. I've seen when some people go and they touch an animal and the animal picks up certain bad energy, they'll shake it off. And when I used to observe that, I used to think to myself, oh my goodness, I can't believe that animal shook off that energy of that person, right? Because they're so simple, because they're so, well, they're amazing, right? But they're just they're at the point, they're in the moment, right? So they get it. Just boom, it's gone. They don't play around with it up here. They don't have to mull around. They just feel it, boom, and it's gone, right? You're given that is a right you're given. Instinctive survival. That is a right kind of survival. When your instincts kick in, when something just something inside you instinctively saying, this person's projecting something and what they're doing, they're defiling you. See, the thing is what they're doing. Jesus said at one point, he says that when the devil comes, he speaks from his own resources, right? When people do whatever they do, and when they do something that is actually having a harmful or not a productive effect on whomever they're standing before, they're basically bringing it from their own resources. It's coming from them, like the movie, right? When you walk in a theater, when you're wherever situation you are, that's a theater. Whatever movie's playing, the beautiful right you have is not to pay for that movie. Now that's where uh, how can I put it? Practicing the art of perception, practicing the art of being able to be discerning correctly. Going out and seeing it work, going to realize that this is a gift I desire more than anything else in my life, to be extremely discerning. Because Jesus says the devil comes and he's basically saying that he's going to, it doesn't matter, you can't escape however he's going to move through or wherever, but he has no part in me, right? There's nothing inside of me. It's like going to the theater to watch a movie. You've already determined, based upon your honing certain gifts in your life, and hopefully it's not through hard experiences. That's something you want to avoid. It's better to hone your gifts by other means, right? You can hone it by being a little bit more attentive. That if it's there, it's there. If it's not there, watch a lot of shows. Some YouTubers are really amazing about how they get into it, right? That the harsh truths about life is that there are different kinds of people out there, different quality people, low quality people, way below quality people who are average, and then people who are high quality. And high quality people are always, always, always in diligent zone about maintaining and getting higher and higher and higher. Why other people are doing all these other things in life, they're not putting in the work for that. They're seeking other things, so they'll have it. You're seeking how to become a more refined and a diamond kind of being. That wherever you go, man, you glitter like gold and you shine like diamonds, man. And you can't take away that kind of quality from anyone once it's really active all over you. You're a diamond being. You know what I'm saying? You glisten, right? You glisten with the light of God. You glisten. And men see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. At some point, they got to look up and go, wow, something different about this person, something very high. This person's of high quality, right? Getting back to the projection part of it, of life, is that societies and nations and cultures and peoples, wherever you are, even group cultures within workplace or whatever, is that people, when they're projecting, your decision to block their projection sometimes will be the work you do before it actually happened. And sometimes, like one thing I started doing, and whether it's a psychological training or whether it's actually working, because there's things that Jesus did physically in the physical realm that actually actuated a miracle in the spiritual world, right? There's times he did things, times when he mixed mud together with a spittle and he rubbed it in the man's eyes before the man's eyes could see. But that physical activity institution caused a supernatural happening, right? So one thing I do is I hold the mirror and I'll put it around me and deflect and just speak it out. I deflect every form of anything that's been coming my way today, and I send it right back to you. And lo and behold, I started doing this. It's an incredible thing. I noticed that people started to actually, where I felt times where I'd go out in public, I was being bothered by somebody. Like you're thinking, this is kind of weird. That person's like coming and it's getting a little bit too close to me. It happened a little bit too often for it to be coincidental. Because people can pick up, and one of my other videos, I'm going to go into this a little more about energy stealers. Very real. Okay. People who are now willing to put the stuff in their life, they want to come and get the benefits from you. They want to rub off and get the benefits, and that's going to make up for what they don't want to do. So getting back to projection, just totally accept that it's not coincidental. It's not just something you take lightly. When it's happening, you will know. And the more you know, the more in your face they will be about it, because they don't have to step past the layers anymore with you, right? They do subtly. Now they're going to come in your face and they're going to project, right? And the more as you be, and you will be, of course, you're strong. By the way, strong can only get stronger as long as you stay up with it. Okay. It's like going to the gym every day. The muscles are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So you can only get stronger. And by the way, having these abilities in your life, these giftings, these downloads into your life by the Most High, it's an incredible and beautiful way to live life, to be able to deflect when people are projected, because they do. And people love to project their insecurities, the garbage they're carrying, their problems, their nonsense. And even so, with this, and I'm going to go into this in another video, and this is a part of crux that this, you have to grow in another area in your life, being able to tell them, you know what, I'm not here to play with you in your game. I got my own thing going. Sorry. You love your misery. I don't. I'm not gonna. I'm not, misery loves company. Please, I'm not for it, man. You got the wrong person. You all have a good day, and remember, projection is a real thing. Protect yourself from it, and you will know. And remember, projection is coming from them, not you. It has nothing to do with you. It is up to you not to receive it. Reject it. Have a good day. Do like and subscribe.